Okay, so for number 47, you have a square. And they tell you that has a perimeter of 12. We know that in a square that all the sides are equal. So if we divide 12 by 4, we know that each side is 3 centimeters. I drew the diagonal in. I'll trace it in blue. If you look, once I put the diagonal in, I have 2 right triangles. I'll just pick one off. If that's 3 and that's 3, we could use the Pythagorean theorem to find the diagonal. We could say 3 squared plus 3 squared is the diagonal squared, or you could call it C for the hypotenuse. I'll call it C for the hypotenuse. 9 plus 9 is C squared. So 18 is equal to C squared. And if I square root both sides, C is the square root of 18. If you think about 18, 9 divides into 18 and it's a perfect square. So I can say 9 times 2 is 18. And the square root of 9 would be 3, so I can take it out of the radical. And then I would have square root of 2 left in the radical. And that would be the length of my diagonal, 3 square roots of 2. Okay, on this problem we have a rectangle and the side lengths are 2.4 and 1.8. It doesn't matter which one you write them on. It's just you're mainly drawing something to help you work it. And you're supposed to find the length of the diagonal. Well, you think about it, rectangles have right angles. So we've got right triangles. Let me finish filling in all the sides because I know the opposite sides on a rectangle are congruent. So now if I want to find that diagonal that I drew across the middle, let's call it C. I could just say leg squared, 2.4 squared, plus another leg squared, 1.8 squared, is equal to C squared. Well, just in case you're confused, let me highlight in yellow. I just picked that triangle. I could have picked the one at the bottom, and it would have had the same equation. So now you can finish this out, square each term, add it together, and then square root each side. But that's how you would set this up. I'm not going to work it completely out because you need to do that. I just did want to show you how to set it up. Okay, number 49. Whoops, that's not a good color. 49. A rectangle has a diagonal of 2. So if I draw the diagonal in, it's 2. Now remember, rectangles have all these right angles in them, so I've got a right triangle. One side is square root of 3, so find the length of the other side. Well, I'm going to go ahead and label square root of 3. Let's call this side missing side A, and then we'll call this missing side A. I can use the Pythagorean theorem here. I can say leg squared, so one leg would be A squared, and another leg squared. So maybe I'm looking at this side as the other leg. I'm going to highlight just, for instance, there's one of the 2 right triangles. They're equal, though. Let's call it square root of 3 squared would be equal to the diagonal or the hypotenuse squared, because this is just the Pythagorean theorem that I'm doing here. So it would be A squared plus 3 equal 4. If I'm trying to solve for A and I subtract from each side, A squared is 1. So if I square root both sides, A would be 1. My missing side is equal to 1.